In the great words of Henry Kissinger, it's a shame that both sides can't lose. What war are we talking about today? Not any war that's going on in the Middle East, but these two here, neither of them eat bacon. Funny enough, this whole war started because of two millennial-aged men decided to start a podcast together.
Let's not obfuscate, okay? I understand what you're saying. But this dude just called babies militants.
No, I understand. And there are baby settlers as well. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlement.
Because of when I think of two guys from LA, of course they're going to have a podcast together. Do you know anybody in your life that has a podcast and endlessly shoves it down your throat, tries to promote it, and it ends up getting like 10 viewers? You probably have a loved one in your life that thinks they need a podcast at the ripe age of like 22, 26. You need to have a serious intervention with that person. Not everybody needs a podcast. Some people just need to become interesting first. As a very brief history lesson, YouTuber and podcaster H3H3 has a podcast, invites Hasan Piker, very famous Twitch streamer and Nepo nephew of Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, onto his podcast. And it's even easier because it was 2020, so just do it. In 2021, they start a very strictly political show where the entire podcast is just about dunking on the chuds. Fucking chud! Hasan Piker's left wing, Ethan Klein's left wing. They're different flavors of leftism, but whatever, who cares? It's all about hating on the red people. But ever since October 7th, 2023, that one little crack in the foundation just kept getting chipped away at, hammered home. On that day, over in Israel, point to Israel at a map right now, there was a music festival going on that was stopped by a bunch of Rizzlers and Hamas. Yes, well, we'll call them Rizzlers for today's video, okay? Now, Ethan and Hasan Piker do very much sympathize with the plight of the Palestinian people. But Hasan Piker, he went a very interesting direction with it. And considering Ethan's lineage, tracing back to Israel, his wife even being born from there, that caused a very weird tension between H3H3 and Hasan, which led to their podcast together being shelved, put on hiatus, and then eventually completely scrapped altogether. And throughout 2024, Ethan Klein and Hasan Piker would grow to hate each other. More of the hate coming from H3H3's camp, considering he was throwing a lot of shots at Hasan through Instagram stories of all things. Because if there's one place you want to read about a complex, political subject, yeah, Instagram stories, that's the way to go. I am giving you the Cliff Notes version of events because I did cover a lot of this in my never-ending H3H3 crash out video, but that came out before Idubbbz made a content cop on him. But I already talked about Idubbbz in detail after the content cop, so I think it's time I focus back to H3H3 as the subject of this video. Because yes, I have opinions, and whenever I was ever so slightly critical of H3H3 and giving Idubbbz the benefit of the doubt in the situation, yeah, people did not like that part. But all this feud between H3H3 and Hasan Piker would lead Ethan to post back on his original channel that got him all his fame in the first place, H3H3 Productions, where he posted a content nuke on Hasan Piker. It's really funny that he has a series called Content Nuke, which is more so of a spin-off or spoof of Content Cop, which was done on H3H3. Isn't it funny how that works out? After this content nuke, that's when things got nuclear. See what I did there? A whole sweep of Hasan orbiters were all reacting to Ethan's video. Not Hasan himself. Hasan Piker did not watch the content nuke at first, but all of his moderators, all of his orbiters did. Keep in mind the names Frogan, Caseytron, and Denims for future. This is a little foreshadowing for future in the story. Denims on stream had Bad Empanada on, who essentially alleged that Ethan's children were being very poorly treated, essentially neglected. They're living in feces.
Something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from contact with it with their hands or something, but they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia from the dog shit that is all
Is
over
this
his
true?
house.
Dude, how is it that like maybe once a week I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting
We
Giardia.
already have Mold Mondays. Now we have Shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, it's very, very, very dangerous when infants get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult. You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces.
And the main thing that gives this claim credibility is that H3H3 on his own podcast was saying how his kids got Giardia.
Olive has Giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea. Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
Oh,
and now Ela has Giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
What can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying
Yeah,
to...
what?
Because I'm not trying to get it.
No, it's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
People took this fact, which Ethan said himself, and ran with it, and many of the implications were saying that Giardia can only be found in extreme circumstances. This claim about the Klein household being so unsanitary was then amplified by the subreddit of the name H3Snark. I'm sure if you're familiar with Ethan Klein, then you're definitely familiar with this subreddit because he talks about it a lot, which fair enough. I mean, it is literally a hate subreddit dedicated against hating him. After CPS was called on them, that's when Ethan Klein really got furious. He started accusing a lot of people surrounding Hasan Piker of amplifying the narrative that got CPS called on him. That CPS call was the reason that H3H3 put a nail in the coffin on his relationship with Idubbbz.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Ela's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like... She's like a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and Idubbbz feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered for saying one goddamn fucking thing in our defense. Like, actually, Ela's not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy. Like, dude, I probably done and stood by Idubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them because I love those guys. I vouched for their character, and I stood by them 100%. And listen, I'm not saying that they're not the good, nice, fine people that I thought they were, but I'll say this: I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. That's what I'll say at this moment. And certainly, I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing. I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man.
And I do talk about this in my other Idubbbz video, but when Idubbbz made his content cop on H3H3, he did not mention at all in the content cop itself that the reason H3H3 was quote-unquote crashing out on Ian was because of the CPS call.
Cast be an emotional dumping ground for today. You instead say, ooh, it's important that we stay on topic. Also, the H3 community and Ethan himself use the phrase goblin mode all the time to excuse a lot of his shitty behavior or make it seem less bad.
The whole reason they burnt the bridge is because an editor who used to edit for Creator Clash and Idubbbz was directly attacking H3H3 on these lines. So there was a pretty big narrative going around the internet that a former editor of Idubbbz was attacking H3H3. Ethan Klein, of course, reached out to his friend of almost a decade, Idubbbz, asking if he could clarify that, hey, Idubbbz actually went into Ethan Klein's house multiple times and probably had no sanitary issues, but he couldn't say as much. He could not disprove the claim by his own editor. Listen, it's really hard to make H3H3 of all people sympathetic, but when you're going after his kids, yeah, you know what? I think it's fine. It's fine if he's gonna milk it and go after people about that. Because frankly, if I was a father, I could imagine doing that myself. Truth is, I wouldn't have a podcast where I'd be trauma dumping a lot and talking about such personal issues. But you know, it's for the content. Okay, so the content cop happens. Ethan and Ian no longer like each other. They are now direct enemies. Ethan Klein responds to it, and it is a really good response. Both his live response and video response, amazing. He does spend a lot of energy talking about a literal sword that was not even featured in the content cop, but instead a photo that Idubbbz posted to Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, look at this photo. What's the most offensive thing about it? Is it the giant MAGA hat? Right? Isn't a MAGA hat a hate symbol? No, it's a literal sword. This is what Ethan Klein claims to be a dog whistle.
Not racist guy, not racist.
Listen, he's just embracing his new audience.
With the least anti-Semitic people on Twitch. Zoom in on the hilt. That is a fucking uncomfortable similarity to a swastika.
It's a warm welcome to his new audience, Ethan.
Wait, how is that not a swastika? That's almost like it's doing the whole motion.
Now, I do want to address this swastika sword in depth because I did mention it very fleetingly in my previous Idubbbz video. I personally did not think that the sword was all that big of a deal because compared to everything else that was featured in the content cop, that's way down the list of problems I have with Idubbbz. So I think it's appropriate that I will give my full take here about this sword. And just to reiterate, before my take on the sword, Ethan Klein had a very good live response where he took down just how much context that Idubbbz was cutting in his content cop. But at 3 hours and 38 minutes in, that's when Ethan first mentions the sword. And immediately when he mentions the sword, he immediately mentions how it's an anime thing and he highly doubts that it's intentional. But considering in that one podcast himself, he goes over and relitigates this Bleach shit for like 10 minutes.
They had a sword that looked like a swastika in the video. I know it was an anime thing, but maybe we'll be a little more careful.
I said that this morning too.
Let me pull that up. I know that the chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them, but like just be a little more aware next time.
Why would they have that though? Like I feel like you buy that, you take one look at it, you go, maybe not.
I got no clue.
It's not actually a swastika. It just looks like a swastika.
Pretty damn
right?
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's from
it's from an anime.
Can you send it?
Oh, it's from Bleach. Okay.
It really just sounds like a cover your ass statement at that point. And I will say, when I was listening to it, it definitely felt a lot longer than that. So in my Idubbbz video, I might have been exaggerating just a bit, just how much he focuses on this swastika sword. But then he mentions it in the H3H3 versus Hasan Piker debate. Hasan Piker does have a good point where he's not even in the photo. I don't think he should be expected to be accountable at all for what Idubbbz did in the photo. Like, he does have a sword from Bleach, an anime that he didn't even watch.
S tier. Wait, I don't even know who that guy is.
That's Isaac from Bleach.
Oh, I don't watch Bleach. Yeah, so I'm not caught up with Naruto.
This man, I gotta tell you, that's pretty compelling stuff.
But Hasan was being quite convincing when he was saying that it was all just left over from an Assassin's Creed promo that he did back in February, and that was just left out.
One, it's not a swastika, but regardless.
Do you think it looks like a swastika?
I did not make this editorial decision. I wasn't even.
Do you think it's reasonable to perceive that as a swastika?
Ethan,
answer the question. Is it reasonable to perceive that?
I don't think it was a deliberate decision that Idubbbz made, but I don't know. I don't know his mind.
Hasan, they're your swords, and according to the New York Times article, there was 10 options. So what's the chances that they chose the swastika one? That seems pretty slim.
Well,
you have 10 swords, don't you?
The week prior to that, I believe. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't really remember when they shot this, but I had the sword out because I was doing an Assassin's Creed promo. Do you feel like if I thought it was like genuinely a swastika sword, I would use it in an Assassin's Creed promo shot?
Yes. That's what we call a dog whistle, Hasan. And what you're doing is gaslighting somebody. You made a video. Let me make a point here, Hasan, because you're the king of microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minority groups. True. Right? So you made a video. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish. Let me finish my point, Hasan. No. Stop. You are making a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism while exhibiting the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. Do you not see this as a problem? Or at least, am I insane for thinking this is odd?
Ethan, take a deep breath.
Answer the question. I don't need you to console me.
I didn't even hear your question. I need you to.
Well, you should try listening instead of speaking.
I'm just looking for clarification here. Do you think that I deliberately was using a dog whistle in an Assassin's Creed promo, or that it was a cool sword that was laying around because it's the only long sword that I have?
You have 10 swords.
Considering the new Assassin's Creed at the time, Assassin's Creed Shadows, took place in Japan, it makes quite a lot of sense that he would want some Japanese-looking katana. But I have absolutely no idea later in the clip that what was Hasan Piker thinking when he said this?
By the way, as a Jewish man, are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word?
Wait, what?
Are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word because it offends you?
Do you think this is an apt comparison?
Yes.
Okay, so you think that being able to draw your anti-Semitism radar is completely out of whack.
And who are you to say that to me? You pose with a swastika.
You're saying that it's not a swastika, and you know it's not a swastika.
I mean, it literally is a swastika.
No, it's not.
Let me see the swords in your background. Why didn't you choose one of those ones?
I didn't choose the sword, Ethan.
I don't believe you.
Do you think this is a productive use of our time?
Absolutely.
Genuinely, how did you think that was a good idea to like have that come out of your mouth? Telling a Jewish man is like, yeah, your radar and anti-Semitism is off. That is insane, bro. So for my full thoughts, I really do not think this is some well thought out diss against H3H3 having a swastika on the sword. The story about Hasan and Assassin's Creed promo did make a lot of sense. And really, I just think Idubbbz wanted to hold a sword in that photo because what else would have he done? Ethan wasn't doing himself any favors by immediately saying, I don't think it's intentional, and then continued to harp on it for over 10 minutes in that one reaction, mentioned it again in his video response, and then again with his debate with Hasan Piker, which mind you, Hasan Piker wasn't even in that photo. But since Hasan Piker's such an ass, he's literally admitted on camera multiple times to not even watching Bleach. So why does he even have a sword from Bleach? I'm sure Ethan doesn't care about the integrity of the anime community and the infiltration of hoodweebs, but that would be a much better angle to go at it. Just say he's a fake anime fan. Literally, why was Hasan Piker invited onto the Trash Taste podcast? Hasan Piker literally compared a Houthi terrorist to a fucking One Piece character.
Okay, this is a stupid question. Okay, you can preface it with that. Does he know what One Piece is?
One Piece, like, is that an organization?
No, One Piece is an anime. Oh my god, dude, we think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. You should tell him that.
But Ethan Klein is very notorious for being a hypocrite on multiple things. Saying one thing and doing another.
I don't want to club with those racists. Indian people are goofy. All of them, 100% of them, all of them, without exception, are goofy. From the prime minister all the way down. Can I not say that I don't like any Indian person? Why do you love Indian people so much? You have a fetish?
He surrounds himself with black people so that he can look thug and hard. Because what's hip-hop after all, without a clique of black men behind you?
She's holding what looks like a phallic object, a little 8-year-old girl, and a big, giant black man looking in on her, man. It's like Blackzilla. This guy's got a weird fantasy, dude. Blackzilla, the little 8-year-old white girl with blonde hair. He likes it. He likes them white and blonde.
I don't think Felix is a racist person, but god damn, he really kind of just was really comfortable using that word. that really just kind of, like you're reaching for all these words, right? And you're like, oh, let me just like a little N-bomb for you. N-bomb for you. What can you do to me? I've already said the N-word. You can't take me down. I've already said the N-word. I had a black eye on. And he's, that's like telling me, that's like saying, oh, kike isn't offensive as a non-Jew. Racist shit with the Jews. My most recent video is making fun of a black person. It's just a wonderful string of words that really gets you going. I'm literally quoting Idubbbz.
I guess that's what happens when you have thousands of hours of you on a podcast. I can completely sympathize how Ethan Klein really was ticked off by CPS being called on his child. But mind you, Ethan, everything you've been doing since around 2019, 2020, all the way to 2023 has been to appease the woke mob. I hate to say that term, but it's true. That would eventually eat you. Mind you, in Ethan's content cop on Hasan Piker, he really railed against the Twitch-affiliated Arab tier list. But mind you, with Hasan Piker on the Leftover show, he made a white slurs tier list. Is it okay because it's against white people? Is the reason you draw the line at the Arab tier list is because the Love Sabra was offensive to Jews? So I really would like to see some humility and maybe an apology from H3H3 for completely shitting on the fans that he used to have before he went in this very political direction. Apologize for straight up calling to dox people and ruining people's lives. He's engaged in that same sort of shit, but now it's a bad thing because his children got involved. When it's against other people, he did not give a fuck. I would really like to think that Ethan Klein has kind of grown and had quote unquote empathy at the prime age of like 40 something. But genuinely, how are you a grown ass man thinking this is how you should portray yourself on your podcast? I really do think that he became more tolerable after he lost all of that weight. There seems to be a direct correlation between the weight on Ethan Klein's body and how insufferable his take is. I'm just saying I find a correlation there. I'm not saying there's any causation, but man, is it really easy to see when you're looking through these clips from like 2022 to 2023 where he's like, you know, fat and also his like eyebrows are shaved off. What did he think? Why was that a good idea? Why did he do that? But I suppose it's time we talk about the lawsuits that he's filing against Denims, Frogan, and Casey Tron. So Ethan Klein in this year has gotten really comfortable with suing people. First starting off with Noah Samson. Guess who he is? He's a bread tuber, Hassan Orbiter, however you want to call him.
The success of Ethan's video, which garnered over 3 million views in its first month, is a testament to the algorithmic viability of Hassan Bad content.
He made a video called The YouTubers Who Backed a Genocide, where of course he was just talking about Israel-Palestine, but on top of that, talking shit on other YouTubers. A perfect YouTube algorithmic combination.
It's interesting to see YouTubers that typically cover TikTok drama and gaming content randomly giving their opinions on genocide and geopolitics, but that's the result of such an ecosystem. It's not about the politics, it's about making money by attacking a guy they don't like.
And the people included in the video were Turkey Tom, Destiny, H3H3, and Mudahar. Which H3H3 and Destiny, I understand, they actually talk about politics. Fucking Turkey Tom and Mudahar? You're gonna call them complicit in a genocide? What? The context being that both have commented on Twitch policies that were enforced unevenly. Because if there's anything that Twitch is most known for nowadays, it's booby streamers. But second most would be uneven enforcement of its rules. Also, Noah Samson streamed with Idubbbz himself. And while Noah Samson was streaming with Idubbbz, he was throwing a lot of shade at Cameron F305, who you may know as the new content cop, the Zoomer content cop, the guy who used to make music for literally Yandere Dev. The relevance this has to the lawsuit is that Noah Samson was signal boosting SA accusations against Cameron. And now H3H3 has heard of this Cameron guy and offered for him to join in on the lawsuit against Noah Samson for defamation, of course.
If you have any integrity as a content creator, which I don't think you do, you will make a public retraction and an apology. And while I would love for you to do that, I have a feeling you won't. which means Ethan and I have a lot to talk about, given that I have legal options to explore if you can't make this right. Now, no, I will give you 14 days from the release of this video to issue a public retraction and apology. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just an honest apology for your slander now that you've seen the correct information. Now, if you don't do that, I have a plan B. Hello, Ethan Klein. If you're watching this or someone that you know is watching this, please direct them to this. Please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I am more than willing to join your case if Noah doesn't make things right.
And Mudahar is also joining in on the lawsuit as well. So Noah Samson is probably screwed. But defamation has a very high bar, so we'll see. Skip forward a few more months, we get to the absolute bomb that H3H3 has dropped. On June 19th, 2025, H3H3 Productions released the video "I'm Suing These Three Creators," where he formally announced his lawsuit against Idubbbz, Frogan, and KCTron. The underlying reasons for all of them is that they were reacting to his full content nuke on Hasan Piker and outright admitted to watching it only to siphon views from the video itself. So they were being malicious in their reaction of the video, trying to prevent this information about Hasan Piker from getting out to a wider audience. So if this lawsuit actually does go through, then we might be seeing a vastly different internet than the one we are seeing now. Let's just say Hasan Piker might actually have to put a little bit of effort into his reactions instead of just eating while doing it. So really, I don't really have much to say on the lawsuit itself because I just want to see it play out in court. We may be looking at a vastly different internet by the time it's done, because Ethan Klein is going scorched earth in his crusade against Hasan Piker. And it seems that these three streamers are caught in the crossfire. And looking at their responses to this lawsuit, yeah, they didn't take it all too well.
Just because I didn't react to his stupid video, he had to make up that I did and put a video of me smoking over his stupid video to get attention.
She has abused so many drugs, she actually just doesn't believe that she watched that video in the full.
I'm sorry, I don't give a about your video. Like, I don't know. I don't recall reacting to it.
Gee, I wonder why she couldn't recall that, huh? It looks like we got a mystery. We got some Blue's Clues.
I'm actually pretty certain that his lawyer told him to stop going after me. His lawyer most likely said, dude, you need to stop. You actually need to stop. Whatever, you think I'm an idiot? You think I'm the dumbest person alive? That's fine. Go read the lawsuit.
For some reason, Idubbbz doesn't see the need to hire a lawyer. KCTron, when reacting to that content nuke, was just toking it up throughout the entire thing. She smokes so much weed. Holy shit. How is she a mother? If there's anybody getting CPS calling them, it should probably be her. What's even funnier than suing three streamers is that Ethan Klein officially has asked the judge to subpoena Reddit and Discord for the identities of the H3 Snark mods. And since this legal action took place, the YouTube drama subreddit has announced the end of their Snark era. So even communities that are not even targeted are responding to these sort of legal actions, which obviously Snark is a very unhealthy thing, especially for the person they're targeting and the community that surrounds it, and also the people that indulge it itself. It's just a very toxic thing for society. As far as we're aware, just about all of the moderators, especially of a Snark subreddit, they're just bound to be like 30-year-old, overweight, unemployed on Reddit all day because they're power tripping on their moderator status. I am fairly certain that you did not need me to tell you that to come to that conclusion. Oh yeah, a subreddit that's dick riding a socialist streamer attacking another streamer. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's filled with like happy, fulfilled individuals. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a Reddit moderator under like 200 pounds. That'd be a very interesting experiment, just to average the weight of all the Reddit moderators. Where can I go to invest in that? Where can I go to conduct that myself? But if you do want to see updates on this lawsuit and the people involved, definitely do stay tuned and go subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, because I am going to go in depth on Idubbbz, Frogan, and KCTron, because I hate myself. But that will be in an upcoming video. I have a membership option if you'd like to financially support me, and upon becoming a channel member, you'll be granted access to my member-exclusive Discord server. So come hang out, everybody.
Henry College is like doing one good thing, which is that like if you have these millionaire, billionaire, WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is like, in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society.